grab some meat or whatever you need. I'm Corey, and it's time to get into it. So today we're going to be talking about Blizzard's, I believe it's going to be announced tomorrow, the 3rd of May, their mobile game announcement. Now, for a while, I thought this was supposed to be a World of Warcraft mobile announcement. And then I noticed something the other day that it's not being presented as a WoW mobile announcement. This is being presented as a Warcraft mobile announcement. And that's a pretty big thing. Warcraft is a game and a game type that I absolutely adore. I loved playing Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, Warcraft 1. Didn't play Warcraft 1 as much as 2, didn't play 3 as much as 2. Warcraft 2 was my go-to. Didn't really play StarCraft that much because the whole space thing is just not really... I like high fantasy. I'm not really big on the whole space stuff. Not that I dislike it, it didn't grab me the same way that Warcraft did. World of Warcraft, an obsession of mine. Loktar Ogar for the Horde, you know how it is. Diablo 2, Diablo 2 Resurrected. Basically, Blizzard's franchises have been something that I've thoroughly enjoyed. The current iteration of World of Warcraft, not as great as I'd like, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, what really can you do? Hope for the best, wait for it to get better. But the game type of Warcraft, where you build your army, you build your base, you acquire resources, you build a township of your own, and then you go to war with another player or an NPC that has been building their own. And it's a race of who can build the fastest, who can build the best, and who can win the war. And I've always found that very, very fun. And to see that a Warcraft mobile game and not a World of Warcraft mobile game is coming has me pretty excited. Now, as far as mobile games go, my phone is used for text messaging and watching YouTube videos and researching and checking my email. I don't really use social media. I just got banned from Twitter. I have an Instagram, but I don't use it. I haven't uploaded really anything in years. I don't use Facebook. I just don't really use social media. When I play video games, I do it on the PS5 or I do it on my PC. My phone is just for calls and texts and YouTube. A Warcraft game, though. Now, that might get me playing a bit. Diablo Immortal is something that I'm excited to check out here next month in June. But without me going on and talking too much longer without actually getting into the meat and potatoes of this, let's read what's going on. If you like what I'm doing here, you like these videos, like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will be streaming some Diablo 2 Resurrected here in a little bit. Probably right around the time this video is uploaded, I'll stream it for a little bit. Just got my Necromancer through Nightmare, so I'll probably be doing some Nightmare magic finding or start trying to push a little bit into Hell. We'll see how the day goes. Regardless, let's read through this. It says, earlier today, Blizzard teased, and this was put out a few days ago, Blizzard teased that they would be revealing a new Warcraft mobile game on May 3rd. Though a recent leak has given some early information as to what we may see. A Reset Era forum post by Bloomberg's Jason Schreier yesterday stated that not one but two mobile titles were in development, one modeled after Pokemon Go and another similar to Clash of Clans, both popular titles in their own right. Pokemon Go, it seemed kind of like a flash in the pan. Like, it seemed to be really, really popular, like incredibly popular when it first came out. And then it kind of fell to the wayside. There are still people that play it, of course, but it's like I don't have it on my phone, I don't think anymore. Um, I just stopped playing it. It just wasn't, I don't know, it got boring after a while. Clash of Clans, never checked it out. I just, aside from Warcraft, none of these other building type games really got me going the same way that Warcraft did. And this is an update. It says update. This morning, Windows Central editor Jez Corden said on Twitter that he believes the Pokemon Go style Warcraft game was actually canceled, adding that the one being announced next week is not similar to the augmented reality game. Following that tweet, Schreier confirmed the project's cancellation. Now, I have my own opinion on Jason Schreier. I don't like him. I think he's a not very good person, but he does have access to information that a lot of other people don't. So, says from Jez, for those DMing me about the Warcraft mobile games, I believe the Pokemon Go style game was actually canceled a week ago. Exactly what they said here. The one being announced next week is not a Pokemon Go style, but it sounds like it'll be pretty great from what I've heard. Jason Schreier replied to that tweet saying, "Can confirm this. The Warcraft Pokemon Go game, one of the two mentioned in my first tweet, was canceled earlier this year. The other one will be revealed next week." These are a couple screenshots of Clash of Clans. Now, I wanted to play Warcraft 3 Reforged, but with the amount of bad press that it got, and I still don't think that the game is in a playable state from what I've heard. So I'm just kind of like, well, that sucks. I wanted to play back through the story, and because I was a kid when I played Warcraft 3. I mean, we got to remember, I got back from basic training at 18 years old. And that was the first time I ever played Warcraft. Warcraft 3 was when I was still in high school, when I was still in vocation school. Like, that was something that I played a couple hours a week occasionally. Warcraft 2 I played when I was like a young teenager, like 13, 14 years old. Um, it's been a very long time. I'm 34 years old. It's been 20 years since I played Warcraft 2 and close to 20 years since I've played Warcraft 3. Says, while Blizzard's announcement makes it sound like only one game project will be revealed next week, we actually already knew that at least two were in development, as the projects were cited during Activision Blizzard's second quarter financial results call last year. We've known about Blizzard's intent to develop mobile game titles within key franchises for far longer, though. Going back as far as BlizzCon 2018, in which Wyatt Chang stated the studio was working on mobile titles across all their IPs. And this is a blue post from Wyatt Chang stating that. Wyatt Chang, if you don't recall, is the, come on, don't you guys have phones? That guy. Which he will, just like J. Allen Brack was forever known as you think you do, but you don't. Wyatt Chang will forever be known as, don't you guys have phones? Let's read through this right here. It says, Diablo Immortal isn't the only mobile game in development at Blizzard's incubation department. And although a skeptical fan might question the motivation behind these games, some current and former employees insist that these games are in development because Blizzard's developers genuinely want to make them. And that makes sense. I've said for a long time, I don't think the developers at Blizzard's are actual like gamers. I think they're the type of people that they go home and they want to jump into Raid Finder, they want to jump into Dungeon Finder, they want to play the game for a couple hours here and there and have success. And that's fine, but I don't think the games should be developed for those type of people. The mobile games, that is much more fitting of the type of people that I think are currently developing World of Warcraft and Blizzard games in general. Look at Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is such an easy, simplistic game. Now, I know that people can say and will say the same thing about Diablo 2. There are drastic differences, though, in how the two games played and in how the two games are played and how the two games were approached in development. Diablo 2 is a passion project that you're going to sink hundreds and thousands of hours into. It's a game that was so popular over 20 years after the release that they decided, almost 20 years, 15 years, that they decided to remaster the game, and it's still loved and adored by many, myself being one of them. Mobile games are something that people can just grab their phone while they're sitting at their desk at work and they can play their games. When I worked at Comcast, I was playing Fallout Shelter on my phone a lot because there was a lot of time where I was just sitting on the phone waiting for calls to come in or waiting for people to get their information. There wasn't time for me to grab my phone and mess with my phone. Can't really do that with World of Warcraft, or you shouldn't be able to. It's a game that you should actually have to pay attention to. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I hope that the monetization is not too heavy. I think that if there's any kind of monetization in the game, people are going to complain about it. I mean, look at Gran Turismo 7. Gran Turismo 7 did not have a bad monetization scheme, and yet people lost their minds over it. The cursor wasn't even set to go straight to purchase stuff. It was just an option that was there. Just having the option was enough to have people push their panties up into a tizzy. Didn't make sense to me. I thought Gran Turismo 7, me personally, I'm not a person that buys microtransactions like that. I'll buy microtransactions for games like Path of Exile, but none of those things like make the game. Whereas with Gran Turismo 7, you can be a terrible driver, you can be a terrible racer, you can be horrible at the game, you can throw $200 down and you can buy whatever car you want. I'm not that kind of person. I'll just go and race. I'll play the game to earn what I want. But let's carry on. It says there are lots of mobile game players at Blizzard, said a current developer. There are lots of people excited about mobile games. The reaction inside the company to Immortal is very different to the reaction outside the company. Part of the thinking on a lot of these, people want to work on smaller projects. Smaller projects in mobile tend to make sense. There's a lot I could say about that statement, but it kind of perfectly exemplifies what's happening with Blizzard's games across the board. For example, developers told me quite a few people at Blizzard play Pokemon Go, the massively popular mobile game that lets you use your phone's camera to catch wild Pokemon. As one developer explained, the iconic orc statue at the center of Blizzard's campus is a Pokestop, and staff wage war over who gets control of the landmark on a daily basis. Is it a Pokestop or is it a battle? Regardless, it goes on to talk about Pokemon Go, Warcraft, Pokemon Go. I think that would have been really good, honestly. I think that a Warcraft, World of Warcraft pet battling thing for the phones could be great. When they did mission tables on the phones, I think that was another thing I did when I worked at Comcast. I had my phone on my desk. I had my two monitors in front of me. I had my headset on, and I had my phone in front of me, and I played a lot of Fallout Shelter. And I do believe that I played the mission tables, maybe the auction house. I don't remember. It was years and years and years ago. I think that a Warcraft mobile game, if it's done right, can be pretty damn good. I'm excited to see what they announce. Now remember, it is Blizzard, so it's very likely that they're going to announce the game, and we're going to have to wait another 4 years before we see it. I know that there's people that have this speculation that we're going to see Diablo 4 next year, and I just think they're wrong. I think Diablo 4, and I've said this since Diablo 4 was announced. I've said this since they showed at BlizzCon that they were doing Diablo 4, that it was verified and shown off. We will not get our hands on Diablo 4 until 2025 at the earliest. I don't have any inside sources. I'm not close to Blizzard. I live in Oregon. I don't talk to any developers. I don't know anyone that works at Blizzard. I'm just some guy that's been playing Blizzard games for the better part of his life. And I can tell you, when it comes to Blizzard games, when they announce it, you're going to be waiting for years and years and years and years and years before you get it. It's just how it is. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're dog shit. But a Blizzard game is a Blizzard game. It's usually playable, usually comes with good reception, fan reception, with the exception of Warcraft 3 Refunded. But there you go. Warcraft mobile being announced tomorrow. I am excited to see what they've got coming for us. I'm excited to see what they're pushing out. And I will see y'all in the next video. I'm out of here.